Hello and good evening. To ensure that the present operational and transformational strategies being pursued by the NNPC are not affected by vacuum of any sort, the corporation now has an alternate governing board chairman in acting capacity. He is to hit the ground running, while recently appointed management and new GMD are to deepen the teamwork and collaboration and monitoring that have been the hallmark of the NNPC in the last 3 years until July the 8th. And talking about NNPC in the last 3 years, since Dr. Mekanti Barrow became the GMD, quite a lot of landmarks and innovative milestones have been recorded. We have a royal attestation to these feats, plus his recent declaration on corporate partnership and national unity are also trending. Also on the lineup, Netco's balance sheet is excitingly green. Check out the numbers in the details. Welcome to the Stakeholdership. I'm Akin Agbijule. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
Under President Muhammadu Buhari, we've seen where there is fuel, you make a choice of where to buy fuel. You make shakara for them.
No panic to buy fuel for black market. NNPC go bring fuel for all motorists.
NNPC say them get fuel jabrata for ground. Saboteur. All of una wey dey tiff with fuel and petroleum station wey dey hot smuggle and divert our fuel go neighboring country. Plus people wey dey build small tank and sell fuel pass our government price of 145 naira per litre. Stop am o. Because why? Na big offense now. Na jail straight away. NNPC say our government no increase fuel price, na still 145 naira per litre. So therefore, no buy black market, no do panic buying. Enough fuel dey wey go round. Nigerians, if you see any petrol station where they sell fuel pass our government price of 145 naira per litre, kia report to the nearest security agency when near you or the Department of Petroleum Resources. Na Ndu Ohamado, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division NNPC, signed this message.
Time for the highlights. President Muhammadu Buhari appoints acting alternate chairman of NNPC governing board. Dr. Mekanti Barrow recounts landmark achievements of his helmsmanship, even as he harps on significance of sports for national unity. Royalty came to the towers, and what an awesome compliment Dr. Barrow got. Introductory profile of the corporation's new GMD, Mr. Mele Kolokiari, on center stage. Netco's business efforts have been profitable. We got all the numbers to back this up in the details on the other side of the break.
It is a very excellent occasion, and they've done exceptionally well for the youth of this country, giving them good education.
The management and staff of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) announced the commencement of the grassroots, states and zonal NNPC 2019 National Science Quiz Competition. The 17th edition of the annual competition holds as follows. The grassroots level of the competition held at 774 local government areas across the country on the 20th of June 2019 in the local government area headquarters. The state level held at the 36 states and federal capital territory on the 26th of June 2019 in the state capitals and Abuja. For the zonal level, South-South, Monday, July 1st, 2019 in Uyo, Southeast, Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019 in Owerri, Southwest, Friday, July 5th, 2019 in Osogbo, North Central, Monday, July 8th, 2019 in Minna, Northwest, Wednesday, July 10th, 2019 in Katsina, and Northeast, Friday, July 12th, 2019 in Bauchi. The finals and grand finale are scheduled to hold on September 16th and 17th, 2019 at the NNPC Towers in Abuja. NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways. Signed, Ndu Ugamadu, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division of NNPC.
President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Dr. Thomas M. A. John as acting alternate chairman of the NNPC Governing Board. A press statement by NNPC Group Managing Director Dr. Maikanti Baru has said, Dr. John, a former Group Managing Director of the NNPC, is before the appointment a member of the NNPC Governing Board. He will hold the position of the acting alternate chairman of the Governing Board until a new Minister of Petroleum Resources or Minister of State for Petroleum Resources is appointed to assume the chairmanship for alternate chairmanship position, respectively, in line with Sections 1 subsection 3 and Section 2 subsection 1 of the NNPC Act. The new appointment takes effect immediately. Stakeholders in the nation's downstream petroleum sector have been cautioned to avoid any act that could undermine the seamless supply and distribution of petroleum products that currently prevail in the country. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Dr. Maikanti Baru, who made this plea at the launching of Petroleum Products Marketing Company PPMC Business Automation with SAP modules and web-based customer express in Abuja, said Nigerians must not be subjected to any form of stress in respect to product supply and distribution.
The citizen should not be punished by a union. What is that? The union is supposed to make things better for their members, but not at the expense of their customers.
Speaking earlier, the Managing Director of the Petroleum Products Marketing Company PPMC, Mr. Umar Ajia, said the business process automation solutions and web-based customer express solutions would eliminate products losses because it eases the way of doing business with PPMC and also fully automates the processes without human interference across the value chains.
With automation, it is impossible for you to take what does not belong to you, and also whereby payments are made out of our banking system to private hands is no longer possible now.
A first-class traditional ruler and chairman Board of Trustees Southeast Elders Forum, His Royal Majesty Ambassador Dr. Ezediorama MC Aniagu, the Igwe of Enugu Nato, Enugu State, has paid a farewell visit to the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Maikanti Baru. The royal father, in company of some of his cabinet members, said he had to travel all the way from the southeast to personally express gratitude to the GMD for his services to the country, which have had a considerable impact on the nation's economy. The monarch, who has traveled to over 100 countries as an ambassador and across the length and breadth of Nigeria, said he would personally sign a letter to invite Dr. Baru and honor him with a chieftaincy title in recognition of his meritorious service to his fatherland.
May Almighty God continue to protect and guide you. And you are retiring, but you are not tired. You are just clocked the age to continue to work for the country.
The Igwe demonstrated his mastery of Nigerian languages when he addressed the incoming GMD, Malam Melikari in Kanuri, describing his appointment as well-deserved. Responding, the GMD commended the 84-year-old monarch for his selfless service to humanity as the chairman of the Association of Christians, Muslims and African Traditional Religion in Nigeria, ACMATRIN, and for his interest in the operations of the NNPC.
We really appreciate you, sir. And we thank you for the visit, and I see it as a relationship not just with Maikanti Baru, but with the NNPC. The cause that you are championing of amalgamating all the religions under one umbrella to understand each other, to work together, cannot come at a better time than now.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Dr. Maikanti Baru, has said the corporation under his watch recorded several landmark achievements in the last 3 years. Baru made this assertion during his investiture as Fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering (NAE), held at the University of Lagos recently.
I make bold to say that my engineering background wholesomely prepared me for the strides my organization's management under my purview has achieved in the last 3 years.
The NNPC boss listed some of the achievements recorded under his watch to include maintaining production levels well above 2 million barrels per day, increasing crude oil production by NNPC flagship upstream company, Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, NPDC, ensuring a boost in gas production to the extent that today, NNPC is the largest supplier of gas to power, and saving enormous financial resources through direct sale, direct purchase DSDP scheme adopted for product import.
Also, it helped in devising sustainable teamwork between the oil and gas industry and the numerous host communities in the Niger Delta to curb security challenges that had deep crude oil production some years back.
Others include ridding government of huge financial commitments on cash call commitment by developing workable alternative funding arrangements and instituting a regime of transparent contracting through bidding processes in all major projects.
Reducing costs of crude oil production per barrel in the country from the high of $27 per barrel to $22 per barrel, with the commitment to drive it further down to $18 per barrel.
I must at this stage commend the current management of the NNPC, led by Dr. Mekanti Baru, for keeping the flag flying by ensuring that the corporation operates as a truly Nigerian state-owned oil corporation with fiduciary responsibility to the government and people of the Federal Republic.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Dr. Mekanti Baru, has described sports as a significant factor in engendering unity and national cohesion among Nigerians. Dr. Baru said that this while hosting the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, at the NNPC Towers. He described as unique NTA's quest to further champion and promote unity and stability among all Nigerians from all walks of life, in line with the objectives of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration.
One of the greatest things that unites Nigerians, not just sports, but football. There is almost a cultist behavior as far as football is concerned.
Earlier in his remarks, the DG NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, said his mission to NNPC was to seek support towards broadcasting the 52 matches of the AFCON 2019 live on the NTA network service for the viewing pleasure and pride of all Nigerians.
It is a well-known fact that one of the things that unites Nigerians is sports, especially football.
The National Engineering and Technical Company of Nigeria, NETCO, the engineering subsidiary of the NNPC, has posted a profit before tax of 6.75 billion naira for the year ended 31st December 2018, representing an increase of 107% over the 3.26 billion naira recorded in 2017. Speaking at the annual general meeting of the company in Abuja, Malam Bello Rabiu, Chief Operating Officer upstream of the NNPC, who was also the chairman of NETCO Board of Directors, said the quantum leap in performance was attributable to two major projects undertaken within the period under review.
We were challenged by the corporation that you must do more, because as an engineering company and the best in the country, you should actually give us at least 1 billion naira in 2018.
Also speaking at the event, the managing director of the company, Engineer Mustafa Yakubu, said NETCO was focused on attaining the desired level of competitiveness to place it at par with other global companies in the sector.
We are doing that by building capacity in business development. We need to be aggressive in looking for projects.
Engineering professionals practicing their trade in the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) have vowed to sustain their dominance across the entire value chain of the oil and gas industry. This was made known by the corporation's Chief Operating Officer, Gas and Power, Engineer Saidu Aliyu Muhammad during the 11th Fellowship Conferment Ceremony of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE, held in Abuja. At a well-attended ceremony, 40 engineers, out of which 6 were from the NNPC, were conferred with the prestigious Fellowship of the NSE, signifying their rise to the pinnacle of the engineering profession in the country. Speaking on behalf of the 6 NNPC conferees, Engineer Saidu Muhammad described the feat as a no mean one, adding that it was a testimony to NNPC being an incubator of top-class engineering professionals over the years.
NNPC itself has been an engineering building house. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that large number. I don't think there's any organization that can boast of that large number of engineers that have been conferred with this fellowship today. But what it means to us is, of course, to continue to develop the engineering profession.
Earlier in his speech, Engineer Yusuf Usman said he was highly honored to be recognized as a fellow of the engineering profession.
Today is a very great day for me because it is an honor that I so much cherish and admire. For everybody to reach the level we have reached in their profession is something to be celebrated.
Mr. Mele Kolo Kari is the newly appointed Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. He comes to the job with a very rich oil and gas industry experience spanning over 27 years. A 1987 graduate of Geology and Earth Science from the University of Maiduguri, the incoming GMD served as a well site geologist with the Directorate of Foods, Roads and Rural Infrastructure, DIFRI, between 1987 to 1988 under the National Youth Service Corps. Thereafter, he worked with the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency between 1988 to 1991 before joining NNPC as a seismic data processing geophysicist in the Data Processing Department of the Integrated Data Services Limited, IDSL, in 1992. He also made his mark as a labor union leader when he served as the NNPC Group Chairman of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSN, from 1997 to 1999. He was later appointed as Exploration Geophysicist, Production Sharing Contract, PSC, at the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIMS, in 1998, from where he was made the head of NAPIMS operations in Abuja in 2004. In 2006, he was appointed as Supervisor, Production Sharing Contract, PSC, Crude Oil Marketing Division, COMD of the NNPC, from where he rose to the position of Head and later Manager, Production Contracts Management of the COMD between 2007 to 2014. Mr. Kari was appointed General Manager, Oil Stock Management, COMD, where he worked till 2015 when he was appointed Group General Manager, COMD, and on the 13th of May 2018, he became Nigeria's National Representative at Economic Commission Board, ECB, of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. Also, the incoming GMD was at various times the NNPC representative at the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NEITI. His appointment will take effect from 8th July 2019 when Dr. Maikanti Baru, the current GMD, will statutorily retire after clocking the diamond age of 60.
Thank you so very much, NNPC. Like you say, you touch the lives of people in many positive ways, and that is a statement of fact. I hope you continue this program because it really has been very helpful to myself, to my family, to my loved ones. Even in time to come, I can never forget the good that NNPC has done in my life.
NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways.
Hello, glad you could join us on the feedback segment of the program. My name is Julia Auta. One of the statutory mandates of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, is to guarantee energy security. This onerous task, the State Oil Corporation has performed over the years with strong commitment. This week, our roving camera hit the streets of Lagos and some major cities in Nigeria to find out how the public rates the NNPC in terms of performance of its statutory functions.
I think the NNPC is performing greatly because you can see vehicle moving. If you go to our filling station, no queue. Even with our used generator, can easily go into the filling station and get fuel for our tank.
You will discover that any filling station that you go to, you get fuel and you fill your tank and go free. No more queue, no more accident at home, houses being burned because of storage of fuel in private homes.
If you look at the availability of products, I think that been fair. A little better off, than it was some times ago,
But now there is fuel everywhere. All you need now is just adjust a little bit of your finance. You buy fuel without any shaking. So I rate them very high. Let's say 98%.
There's availability of their products in several parts of Lagos. We can see them.
From the responses, you will agree that the NNPC is indeed living up to its mandates. And that's about the size of the segment. Please stay with us for more on the program.
Hello and welcome to this segment of the program. My name is Tola Gogwade. Did you know that the Nigerian energy mix is dominated by biomass fuels, which account for about 82%, while natural gas accounts for just 8.8%? Did you know that potential for explosive growth in LPG business, which will enable more players to come on board, exists in Nigeria? Did you know that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation is currently implementing some key initiatives aimed at consolidating and expanding its footprint across the LPG business value chain? Likewise, the nation's LPG production would increase to about 5 million tons per annum from the current 3 million tons upon the completion of the ongoing projects. Did you also know that in spite of the numerous challenges facing the LPG sector, NLNG had recorded significant progress in the last 10 years? Now you know. Please stay tuned for the rest of the program.
Hello, welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices fell to erase some of the previous session's strong gains as traders wait for the G20 summit in Japan and for a meeting of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC and other crude producers to decide on an extension of output cuts. Brent crude futures were down 42 cents or 0.6% at $66.07, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures were down 33 cents or 0.6% at $59.05. Oil prices rose more than 2% in the week to their highest in about a month, buoyed by U.S. government data showing a larger than expected drawdown in crude stocks as exports hit a record high and surprise drops in refined product stockpiles. However, traders said concerns that a hoped-for breakthrough on trade at the G20 may not eventuate, and some nervousness about continued output cuts were crimping follow-through buying. Almost immediately after the G20 summit ends, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC will meet to discuss an extension of production cuts to support prices. The day after that, OPEC members will meet other producers including Russia in a grouping known as OPEC Plus, which agreed in December to reduce supply by 1.2 million barrels per day from January 1. The agreement is due to expire on June 30. Crude inventories in the United States, the largest producer and consumer of oil, fell to 12.8 million barrels last week, the Energy Information Administration said, far surpassing analyst expectations for a decrease of 2.5 million barrels. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Solomon Eopave.
I'm very impressed with the GMD in the way he's always conducted himself. He's aware of every other issue. For any area you mention, he's abreast. He reels out all the data. He knows his knowledge within the industry is phenomenal, and I would like to commend him and also to learn from him on how he's able to do that.
That's been Oil and Gas Forum for this edition. Thanks for being part of it. Transition period for the year and transition period for the NNPC. It's all going to be good at the end of the day. Have a good week. Bye.